Hi guys, I'm Katrina here at RoofSnap.
And I'm Jason, and we're having a hands-on demo today. We're back on iOS. You can see I'm on a iPad Pro here. And well, we have another frequently asked question. So Katrina, what's up for today?
Yeah, so I'd like to see, and I know a lot of our customers and trial prospects say, you know, I hear what you guys are saying to me, but I need to see it so I can understand how to draw in RoofSnap on a device with both of my hands.
All right, well, I'm going to do that very thing with both of my hands on this device. I like to start with the project map, but some of you may prefer to start here with entering in the address. So let's take a quick look at both. When you tap on Start New Project, the first thing it's going to ask you here is to pick your office. And if you only have one office, then you'll just tap on the one that's there. Otherwise, tap on the one that you want, and then go ahead and put in a project name. Now, as we scroll down, you see we can put in the address in all these different fields, and you just tap on them to put the cursor into those fields. There's a section for billing information and a section down here at the bottom for insurance details. Once you've filled all those out, you would tap on the Done button. But I'm going to show you the other way. So first I'm going to hit Cancel, Home, and come back out and tap on the project map. The project map is going to zoom in on your GPS location. Now we're in this office building, but there are a couple neighborhoods down here that we like to use. And what we can do is we can say, all right, let's say we're in the driveway of this house right here. So what I want to do is just press and hold and create a new project from that pin that I just dropped. Well, there was already a pin there because yes, we've drawn this roof before, but I'm going to go ahead and tap on Create. Now, all I have to do is select the office and give it a project name. So let's call this one Hands On. Tap on Done. And here we have our project and all of our tabs down the left side. And of course, the goal for today is to go ahead and sketch this roof. So I tap on Sketch, and it's going to load in the Google imagery for this house. Well, the Google image isn't bad, but there's always a better option whenever you see this Near Map button appear right up here in the upper right-hand corner. So go ahead and tap on that. Don't be afraid. All the available imagery dates that Near Map has with their high-resolution imagery for that address will appear here. Tap on OK, and then it's a quick reminder, and just a reminder only, that it's $5 for a Near Map. Tap on OK. You can still come down here if you don't want a Near Map and hit Cancel, but if you're ready to commit, go ahead and tap on Purchase in the far right, and then confirm that purchase right there. Success. Our newest, most recent Near Map has loaded in, but you can switch. You can select other dates. And what you're looking for is a date that has the least amount of tree coverage, not too many shadows, and just a nice, clear, unobstructed view of the roof. Now here in iOS, we can put two fingers on the screen, as I've done here, and we can rotate this image. Well, I'm going to use my thumb and my index finger here, and just really sharpen this up and level off this image. The reason I want this image nice and level is because 90 mode requires the image to be level in order to draw all the beautifully straight lines. So Katrina, are we close, or do I need just a final little...
Just a little bit. There we go.
All right, so when you get it where you think it's straight, you can check a few other sections of the roof, and you know what? I'm having trouble getting it straight today, but I think we're golden. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with that right there. So once you've selected the image and you've got it nice and straight, centered in the screen, zoomed all the way in, you're going to tap up here in the upper right, snap, and start drawing. And continue. It's going to download this image, and it's going to save this image to the project that we've started.
Wonderful.
Now we are defaulted to open up right here in Pan and Zoom. So with two fingers, we can pinch and zoom right in on the roof. See how I'm doing that with my two fingers here, in and out. And now let's switch over to the draw mode. All the modes are down here at the bottom. We've got a draw mode, an edges mode, a facets mode, a pins mode, and pan and zoom. Now in draw mode, this is where we're going to draw out all the lines, but maybe you want to take a look at some of the supplementary imagery of the project. NESW buttons up here at the top. These are really helpful. These open up the Bing directional images where you can zoom in and have a look.
You can see if there's any details that you can't quite get from the aerial view.
Bay windows.
Sure.
Other types of eyebrows and ears and wings on a roof, things like that. Down here in the bottom right hand corner, you're going to see these two little icons. Well, the one on the far right is Google Street View. Well, in Google Street View, we can really move around. We can see the roof, see the front of the house. We can see other parts of the street. And this is going to help us just get an idea of what the roof looks like. But the better imagery, at least here in Columbus and in most metropolitan areas, is Apple's 3D imagery, which is this little map button next to Google Street View. So when you tap on that, well, this is some good stuff. You can move in, you can twirl around, 2 fingers on the screen in a rotation to twirl around. And then watch this, 2 fingers on the screen, up, and we go down to like a bird's eye view.
Nice.
And then 2 fingers back down, and we go straight overhead. So play around with that a little bit. That rotation is going to help. But even more than that, Katrina, look what I can do. I can set my crosshairs very close to the gutters and my horizontal line at the top of those 2 hips, and then rotate down. My crosshairs just stay right on the roof where I left them. And then I can zoom in up here in the upper left-hand corner. What I've done is I've created a relationship between that point where those hips meet all the way down the roof. That's a straight line down the roof. Well, let me show you what the pitch tool does when we're in this view. Pitch tool was that button up in the upper left-hand corner, and it opens up this guy. So because I connected the top of those hips right here, those hips are my starting point, and I'm looking for the pitch that connects where those hips meet with my red crosshairs, which is going to be, you know what, it's a little more than a 412, not quite a 512, so when it is in between, we usually recommend rounding up. So I would say, you know, maybe a 412, because it's really close to a 412. But if you wanted to be safe, you could safely round up to 512 on this one.
All right.
All right, we're going to use the minus button to come all the way back out, and then we're going to hit the X button to close that. And let's draw up some lines.
Great.
Draw mode, far left. 1 finger on the screen brings our cursor into view. Well, let's turn on 90 mode. That's going to keep our lines nice and straight. And let's go to settings and turn our snap tolerance all the way up to 25. Save that for right now. We'll change that in a little bit. So you have your finger on the screen, right? This is the drawing finger. And I'm not going to lift it up, but I'm going to tap on the screen here with this other finger. And that turns the cursor green, and now I can draw out a line. 90 mode, it's snapping right to horizontal. See how it just snaps right to it?
Yeah, wonderful.
Now, if I pick up my drawing finger, well, that line looks like it's still there, but as soon as I touch the screen again, oh, the line's gone. So let's do it again. This time I'm going to use my thumb, this thumb, to tap on the screen here. Cursor turns green, draw out the line, and I'm not going to pick up my drawing finger, but I'm going to tap the screen again. Tap, there we go. With that tap, I can draw the next line. Now I'm going to tap again with my thumb, this thumb right here. Tap on the screen, come over. Tap on the screen, come up. Tap on the screen, come over. Tap on the screen, come down. Tap on the screen, come over. And with 90 mode on, oh, it's going to pop and become perfectly straight with that starting point all the way at the top left corner. I haven't picked up my drawing finger at all though, so we're going to tap on the screen and come up. And it's just going to snap right to our starting point. Now we have the entire roof outlined. Go to facets mode and check it out. Everything will be shaded in when this is drawn correctly. And I do recommend outlining the entire roof first, especially on a simple roof like this, before you start to carve it up with all of your hips and ridges and valleys. So let's continue in drawing mode. You'll see when you put the cursor on any existing point, it turns into a big red circle. And you tap on the screen, and that starts the line drawing again. Tap on the screen, come straight across that ridge, tap on the screen again, and come up and connect. Now, there is no place to go once I tap on the screen here, so I do pick up my drawing finger, and I bring my cursor then back down to another line. But here, we have that tolerance turned up so high, it's going to be hard to draw these lines that are closer together.
Gotcha.
So let's go into settings, and let's bring it down to 5. 5 is going to allow us to still use 90 mode, but it's not going to have that strong magnetism to snap to all these points. So now that it's turned down, we can more easily draw the finer detail while still using 90 mode. Come down the valley here, and I'm tapping. Starting this line, I'm tapping. Connecting that line, I'm tapping. Starting this line, I'm tapping. Tapping. I'm going to say it every time. Tap.
But that's the punchline. It's kind of tap, draw, tap to start and stop.
Tap to start the line, and when you get to the end, tap to complete the line. 2 taps. That's what they call me. That was my nickname back in the day. They called me Jason 2 Taps. Well, we've drawn in all the lines, and now you can see that the roof's all carved up with all the different roof sections. So here, it's time now to go in and put in our pitch value. So I'm going to go right to facets. I'm going to go to pitch. I'm going to come down to 512 because we were going to round up to 512, and then just hit apply to all. I'm going to put 512 on everything. Now, if you want to change 1 or 2 facets to, say, 612, I selected 612, and now just tap on the facet, and when you tap on it the first time, it changes to 0, and when you tap on it the second time, it sort of toggles it between 0 and the new pitch value that you have selected, which appears right there, right above my finger.
Perfect.
Now, let's put everything back at 512. So I'm just going to hit apply to all again, and now we have 512.
Great.
Label up those lines.
Yeah.
This roof is not accurate until your lines are labeled. So eaves. Tap on eaves a second time. We just want you to be aware there are more labels under here. Eave edge, well, that's a designation for your drip edge metal and ice and water shield. Now we can just tap on all those lines and put those labels on it. Oh, what did I do there?
Move that little drawer out of your way.
That drawer slides in and out. If you need it out of your way, you just tap on it. Everything, just don't be afraid to tap. In RoofSnap, you need to tap. Typically, you need to tap twice.
Yeah.
But that being said, let's go ahead and get our ridges. And if we tap a second time on ridges, we can get the ridge vet and put that on all of the ridge lines. Back button there brings us back to hips, and we'll go ahead and put hip labels on all the hips. And then the valleys. Of course, we have other labels that don't apply on this roof, but under valleys, we can grab ice and water shield with that second tap and put ice and water shield as a label on those as well.
Great.
So we have everything labeled and drawn. And if all we needed were measurements, we'd be done.
Sure.
But if there's an inspection component involved, well, you're going to want to use some pins. We have inspection pins designated just for your inspection photos. So let's grab a hail damage and drop that pin right there on the roof. Press and hold on the pin, and you can choose an image from your photos library. You can take a photo right here. Let's go ahead and, I have no idea what's in front of my iPad at the moment, but let's take a photo. It's our glass conference table and a bunch of cables. All right, I'm going to go ahead and
Press the little round button to take a picture.
There we go. It's like I couldn't see it from behind the other camera. Thanks, Katrina.
No problem.
So we took that photo, and now we're going to tap on Use Photo down there. That was in the bottom right. Now, if we press and hold on that again, we can edit some notes. So here is the hail damage. You might be a little more descriptive than that, but I don't know. What do I know? Now, you can put other types of pins on here, like plumbing boots. Drop a plumbing boot on there, chimney flashing kits. How about some off ridge vents, which would be like box vents? Let's put a couple box vents on there. Now, again, this isn't a great project. You probably wouldn't mix box vents and ridge vents together on the same job, but again, it's all up to you. And let's leave it at that. That's enough pins on this roof.
Sure.
Go ahead and tap on the Done button, and that's going to save the project. Now, there's one thing that just occurred to me. The shingle cutting waste factor. This is an algorithm that we use to calculate how much waste you're going to need for one, a single cut valley, and two, architectural shingles. And if you're doing a different type of roof, you're probably going to want to say no and set your own waste factor. But if this is the type of roof that you're doing, this waste factor should be very close to your production values. Go ahead and tap on yes. From there, you can go into measurements, the next tab down, and you can adjust that waste percentage if you need to. You just tap on it, and then you can type in a new waste percentage, 15%. We'll leave it at that. And you don't have to hit a save button or anything. This will all just save automatically. You don't have to tap on anything here. And the documents. So when we go into documents, this is where you're going to generate all of the different documents that RoofSnap can generate, but specifically right now is the sketch report. We tap on generate new.
Great, we're going to see this in a PDF form.
Yep.
Nice measurement report.
This is the document you want to send to your adjuster, to send to your customer if you feel like it, to send to your production people. But once it's generated, you can tap right on it and open it up. Here is that PDF. Northeast, southwest aspect images, pitch breakdown, measurements, all your measurement details, including all of those category labels that we used. Broken down by areas, all your accessories, but also all your photos and notes. So you can turn this document into an inspection report just by pinning photos and notes for all of the different things that you have inspected on the roof. Now, you notice this little square arrow button in the upper right hand corner? That's called the share button. Tap on that, and this is how you're going to email it. Save it to Google Drive, Dropbox, print it, any sort of send functionality that you need to get this document to somebody else is all available right up here in the upper right hand corner. Now, the last thing that we have to go over, because it's very commonly asked and my hands are going to be the best way to show it, let's go right back into the sketch and let's say, oh no, we didn't draw something right and we need to delete a line. Go back into edges mode. In edges mode, just press and hold on a line and you get this little dialog window here. You can clear the label or you can delete the edge. Now it's gone. We can draw it right back in. But let me show you something. When you've drawn it back in and you go to facets, oh no, we lost the pitch because we opened that facet up, we lost it from the drawing. So we have to do two things. We have to label that eave back up, and then we have to go back into facets, grab our pitch, 512, tap on the facet, and there we go. Now it's all back the way it used to be. Tap on done again, and that'll save any changes that you've made to the project.
Perfect.
And recalculate the cutting waste. But this time we'll hit no and leave it at 15%. And there it is.
All right.
All right, that's about as fast as I can get through a hands-on demo, guys. I hope it wasn't too long. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you soon.
Have a great day.